Alright, so today we're going to start to make this pirate collage, this pirate portrait. And remember, a portrait is a picture of a person or an animal. And it can be from head to toe, the picture. It can be from, like this one, chest to head. Or it could just be like neck, shoulders, and head. So today we're going to create this pirate portrait. We're going to start it today. So the first thing that we're going to work on is we're going to work on the bandana part, where we stamp some shapes onto the bandana to create a pattern. So your first step is to choose the color that you want your pirate to be. So this pirate is red, and red paper was chosen. For my pirate today that I'm going to pick is I'm going to choose yellow. So you're going to get a large piece of yellow paper and a scrap paper to go under your yellow. And then you're going to share a stamp pad with your neighbors at your table, and you get a stamp. And a stamp has one area that's carved, and then on the other side it's just flat. And it's usually, that other side isn't usually as dark as the side that you stamp with. And you just take your stamp and you tap it on the ink pad, on the spongy part of the ink pad, not the top of the ink pad. And you press this down, and it creates the design from the stamp. And when you stamp today, you kind of tap, 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 press down. Tap, 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 press down. Use your fingertips, tap, 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 press down. I don't want to see anybody shoving their palm down. I don't want to see anybody using their fist. It can be a little bit gray. It doesn't have to be really, really black. So you're going to stamp this over and over again, filling your paper. And you stamp off the sides as well. So that's why we have this paper underneath this, because you can see right there I stamped off the edge of the yellow, and so some of that ink will get transferred to the scrap paper. And so I like to turn my stamp at different angles. I don't just stamp straight across in stripes, and I just kind of try to keep them close together, but not too close, or I would be stamping forever. And when you do this, you might want to push your seat in and stand behind it. And now I'm going to turn my paper and stamp this side. Until your whole paper is filled with the stamp. Now I think your paper for your bandana probably will be half this size, so you won't have to do as much stamping. And then when you're finished, you'll just close your stamp pad up and set it aside, or leave it in the middle of the table for the rest of the people at your table that are using it. And then this you will set aside. Oh, I also forgot. Don't forget to write your name on the back. That's very important. We won't know whose is whose. So you gotta write your name and the letter of the day that you come to art. Now we're gonna do the striped shirt of our pirate. So we're gonna do this part of our pirate next. So you're gonna get a white piece of paper, and you're going to get a shoulder pattern. It looks like this. See, this one's already got some like red crayon on it, so I'll flip it over and you can see someone's actually cut this by accident. And sometimes that happens, but this is our pattern for our shoulders. So you're going to line your shoulders up with the bottom of your white paper. It should fit across your paper perfectly. If you have your paper turned the wrong direction, you can see it hangs off both sides. So make sure you have your white paper turned the correct direction. And all you need to do is trace the top where you get this nice curved shoulder line. And now you're going to cut that out. Then you're going to get another piece of paper that matches the paper, the same color that you used for the bandana is the same color that you used for stripes on your shirt. And you're going to cut this into stripes, long stripes. You don't want to cut this direction because the stripes won't reach across. So you're going to cut long stripes going across, and you may or may not use every one of these stripes. It really just depends on how close or how far apart you glue these strips together. And then I don't want you to put glue on the strips. I want you to put glue on the white paper. So you're going to put a line of glue across, like where you want the stripe to be, and then take your construction paper and glue that down. And then put another line of glue, and look at the gap between my yellow and my glue. because I don't want this next yellow stripe to be right against the first yellow stripe. I want to leave a little bit of space so that his shirt is white and yellow striped and not just yellow or not just white. And so another line of glue, put this down, and probably one more stripe. So I didn't use all my stripes, I have one stripe left over. You can just give that to me and I'll use that on another project. So there's the striped shirt, but these stripes hang off the corners of the shoulder, so I'm going to flip it over. And you can see the curve of the white paper. You need to cut right along that curve to make that yellow not stick off anymore. So you're going to follow the curve of the white. So you flip it over and it's perfect shoulders. Now you're ready to glue it to your big tan paper, but the first thing you need to do is write your name on your big tan paper. You also need to write the letter of the day that you come to art. Flip it over, and you're going to glue your shoulders onto the bottom of your tan paper. So I'm going to flip this over, put a frame of glue. Don't just put a glob of glue in the middle. Put a frame of glue all around the edges. And you're going to line this up with the bottom of your paper, and it'll fit perfectly across. If you try to do your paper this way, look at all this extra tan paper on both sides. And then you won't have enough room for your head. Your head will stick up off the top. So you have to turn your paper vertical and glue your shoulders down. And now you're ready to glue your head on. So I'll come around and pass out the head shape for everybody. And you'll put a frame of glue on that. Not a glob of glue right in the middle. And then your head shape should overlap the top of your shoulders a little bit. Just a little bit, so the chin of your pirate should overlap the shoulders. And now you're ready to go back and work on your bandana. So I'm going to set this aside. And I have a bandana pattern and a knot pattern. So you're going to flip your bandana paper over. And where your name is, that's okay. You can just leave it. You're going to put the bandana pattern on the back, cover up your name, is fine, and then you're going to trace around this. Now, I put the bandana paper right against the edge of my paper because the bandana is straight, so if I use the straight edge of my paper, I have less to cut. And then I need 2 of these raindrop shapes for the knot of my bandana. So you're going to trace 2 close together, but none of these shapes should touch and none of these shapes should overlap. So look at the space that I have around each shape. And now I'm going to cut my bandana shape out. And it's okay if I cut my name. It doesn't matter. It's on the back. And I have my name on the tan paper now, so that's all that matters. And now I'm going to cut out my raindrop shapes for the knot on the bandana because they have to tie the bandana around their head. I'm going to put a frame of glue on the back again, not a glob in the middle. And then this gets glued over the top of the head, but I don't want to put it too far down because then I won't have enough room for his face. So I'm going to glue it up near the top, not the tippy top. See how much it overlaps? So it overlaps quite a bit of the head there. And now I need to glue the knot on. When I glue the knot on, the pointy part of the raindrop, this pointy part, sticks out away from the face. Now when I glue the second raindrop on, I overlap the round parts of the raindrops, but I make this raindrop face and point down. So now it looks like he has a knot. He's tied on his bandana. Okay, and then I will give you an eye shape and a circle for your eye. And then an eye patch. You get to decide what side the eye patch goes on and what side the regular eye goes on. You don't need 2 eyes because your eye patch covers up 1 eye. So I'm going to glue the eye patch on this side. And then the eye shape on this side. Gotta scoot that over. Don't have enough room for both if I put them too close to the middle. Glue the circle on. You'll use a black marker to add the dot inside, and then we need to draw the nose and the mouth. So we'll draw kind of a sideways nose, and you can draw a straight line. Maybe your pirate's not happy. You could draw a smile if your pirate's happy, or you could draw a frown if your pirate's sad. I'm going to draw a straight line, so my pirate's kind of not happy but not sad either. And then the very last step is to paint. This is the fun part. You get to paint the hair and the eye patch strap. And if you want to add mustache or beard to your pirate, you can. So now, black paint and a paintbrush. First thing I want you to do is paint your eye patch strap, because that's the thing that usually everybody forgets. So the eye patch strap doesn't just sit on the face, it has a strap that's tied around their head. So you're going to draw a line over your eye from the eye patch strap to the side of your face, or the side of your head. So you just very carefully paint a line over the top of your eye from your eye patch. I don't need to paint a strap over on this side because the eye patch goes all the way to the side of his face. If there was more face here, I would paint a little strap there too. Now I need to add some hair. Pirates usually had long hair because they didn't have barbers on the ship, so I'm going to paint some long, scraggly hair. I'm just going to paint 2 or 3 little scraggly lines on the side, not more than that. And I don't want to see any big blobs of hair. So paint just little scraggly edges of lines coming out the bottom of the bandana. They shouldn't come out the side of the bandana because the bandana is over the top of their head. And you can be done at this point. But if you want to add a mustache, you can add a mustache. If you want to add a beard, you can add a beard. So the mustache grows between the nose and the top lip. So I could add a little mustache here. And if you just want to add a mustache and be done, then your pirate's finished there. But if you want to add a beard, you can add a beard. So you can add a long scraggly beard to match the long scraggly hair that he has. And I don't want any black blobs again, any just crazy black spaces or black shapes. Take your time and draw some black scraggly bearded hair like you have for the black scraggly hair. And the beard always grows below the bottom lip, so make sure you don't paint over the top of your mouth. Leave your mouth line there, and you're painting above it for the mustache and below it for the beard. And that's it. And then you have a beautiful pirate portrait.